Howdy friend, Sam Houston here, hoping you're living in high cotton. And if you're lucky enough to be in Texas, I know you're most of the way there. Now enjoy your daily dose of Texas history and Texas pride.
Howdy friend, welcome back to the Feed Bandit Podcast and your Texas History Roundup for July 4th. In 1836, in St. Augustine, at an Independence Day barbecue, Sam Houston, on crutches, appealed to Texas government officials for steadiness rather than recklessness. This was in response to worries that the government was being influenced by elements set on punishing Mexico instead of dealing with the important business of developing the new nation. In 1841, while ranching in South Texas, Vliet and 19 others were captured by Mexican troops. The centralist government in Mexico had ordered his arrest for his role in the Texas Revolution. During the journey to a prison in Mexico City, several prisoners escaped, and Dimmitt was told he would be shot unless the escapees surrendered. Dimmitt reportedly said, quote, "I do not fear death, but dread the idea of ending my life in a loathsome dungeon," end quote. He took his own life by a morphine overdose. Dimmitt County is named in his honor. In 1845, a convention assembled to discuss the U.S. Congress's resolution for annexing the Republic of Texas. The choice was either annexation by the United States or an acceptance of independence by Mexico. England opposed annexation for fear of U.S. expansion. However, the adversarial relationship with Mexico and the fact that most Texans had strong ties to the United States solidified the decision for annexation. The annexation resolution was approved by a vote of 55-1. The U.S. Congress accepted the terms of annexation on December 29, 1845, making Texas the 28th state in the Union. And while that was a good decision at the time, it's time that annexation becomes a de-annexation. It's time for Texas to leave the swamp and take her rightful place at the top of the nations and as a new republic once again. The third Texit, if you will. In 1888, the town of Canadian established itself as a rodeo town when the annual Cowboys Reunion staged a commercial rodeo, one of the first rodeos in Texas. Canadian has had an annual rodeo ever since. In 1910, John A. Jack Johnson beat James J. Jim Jeffries in Reno, Nevada to finally be accepted as the world heavyweight boxing champion. He had fought both blacks and whites and won the colored heavyweight championship, but had been ostracized in getting true world championship bouts. Finally, he beat Canadian Tommy Burns in Australia in 1908 to win the world heavyweight title, but most people still consider Jeffries to be the champion because he had retired undefeated 3 years earlier. Money enticed Jeffries out of retirement, and Johnson won when the fight was stopped in the 15th round. Johnson held the title until a loss to Jessamine Willard, the Potawatomi Giant, in 1915. Johnson was the ultimate sport of his time, thumbing his nose at convention and having several white girlfriends and or wives. Johnson, who had been born in Galveston in 1878, died in a car crash in 1946 in North Carolina. In 1963, the Fort Davis National Historic Site was established as part of the National Park System. The 460-acre site, located on the edge of the present-day town of Fort Davis, included many of the stone and adobe structures of early Fort Davis that had been restored to their 1880s appearance. In 1973, the first Willie Nelson's 4th of July picnic was held on a ranch near Dripping Springs. A very successful country music festival had been staged at this location the year before. Nelson, one of the performers, and some business associates decided to organize a one-day event on Independence Day in 1973. Eddie Wilson, owner of Armadillo World Headquarters in Austin, promoted the concert, which featured Nelson and several others. It was attended by an estimated 30,000 to 50,000 fans and was plagued by a lack of sanitation and electricity, poor access, poorly organized healthcare personnel, heat exhaustion, and intoxicated fans. But it has proven to be an extremely popular annual event. And that, my friend, was your Texas History Roundup for July 4th. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll catch you back here tomorrow on the next one. You take care.
Well, there you have it. If you like our podcast, check us out at feedbandit.com. There you'll find awesome Texas First outdoors gear and apparel. Your purchase helps support the Bandits and keeps this podcast on the air. fighting for you and for Texas. Remember, preserve the tradition, protect the legacy. Until next time.